Super excited about this one, season 1 finale of The Lincoln Lawyer on the Netflix series. So let's jump into it.
Are you sure your client doesn't know anything more? Or are you telling me this guy was behind it all?
Right now, I'm not sure of anything, okay?
Well, somebody...
Even if he was, he wouldn't be saying, because it's attorney-client privileged. And if he gives over privileged information, it ruins this guy's whole investigation, because anything that comes from that breach in privilege is fruit of the poisonous tree and can't be used in court. So he'd keep his mouth shut either way, not just for his own good, but for their investigation's good too.
The extra mile for his clients?
You can be such an sometimes. I thought I lost you, Mickey. First the accident, and then the pills, and then this. I thought I lost you again.
Now you listen to me. You're never gonna lose me.
I said before I thought she looked a little too old for him, and some people kind of got on my case about it on one of the video threads in the comments. I got to tell you, I looked it up. The actress, she's 8 years older than the guy that plays Mickey. Whatever their names are, I forget off the top of my head. But she's 8 years older than him. I called it, okay? I'm sorry, I could see that she's older than him. Shouldn't apologize.
This is Michael Holler. Please leave a message.
Hey, it's me. I am just checking in. Call me when you can. What's that?
Hey, we got a problem.
I've said that one before. I'll never be on a jury. Mickey would never be on a jury. Almost no attorney will ever be on a jury, but especially if it's a criminal case, a defense lawyer for a criminal case, no freaking way. Which is funny because we are some of the only people that would find it really interesting and would really like to be on a jury to find out what happens back in that jury room, because we never get to see that.
Fine, quid pro quo. What do you want?
You ever run across a detective named Kyle Winters up there in the glass house?
I've heard the name, yeah.
He was a lead on a homicide case I had a couple of years back. You hear anything else about him?
Only that he's a good detective.
The kind who would send a vice cop to scare of my witness?
It's about that habeas thing.
That's right.
Off, Holler. I don't investigate cops for defense lawyers, quid pro quo or not.
You know the old saying, don't you? Better 1,000 guilty men go free than one innocent man rot in prison.
Part where we find out all the cases that we've been talking about in this season are all connected. I honestly hope not. I hope they're not connected, because that would make this one of the most realistic shows, that he's actually working multiple cases that have absolutely nothing to do with each other, because that's what a real attorney does. It has shown us other cases along the way, but once we got to this trial, we forgot about all of them. They were all kind of put to the side. So I'm hoping that these sort of 3 cases we've been talking about are not connected in any way, so that the show can keep being real. So let's see.
Dayton, did there come a time that you called me about this case?
Yes. I saw you on the news. You were the lawyer for Jesus Menendez.
And why did that matter to you?
We're right back in court within a few days of the other trial ending. Just FYI, probably totally real. I don't know how long this other case had, when the paperwork got turned in. I don't know if that part is real. But defense attorneys, we are in hearings a lot. I have actually had defense attorneys say in court, Your Honor, I can't schedule a trial that week. I'm already triple booked. I know I've heard that at least twice. And what they meant by triple booked was not, I have a hearing and a trial and then a separate hearing. No, they meant they had 3 trials scheduled at the same time. Probably because 2 of them were going to be continued, but they thought 1 would actually go forward. But the point is, yeah, you might be sending somebody going, hey, I have to question that guy. I have to be there for cross-examination. I need you to come over to this other trial that's happening at the same time and cover for me there. That witness isn't going to be as important, and you probably won't have to do anything but maybe put in an objection, right? So they might have to kind of line things up like that. Typically speaking, they're actually trying to be at a trial if there's a trial happening. But yeah, so, ending one trial and going straight into another, yep.
What does she want?
She told me I had to get out of town, or I'd take a bust on a bogus drug charge. She said with my record, I'd get 3 years, and she'd find a way to tack on more.
Did she say why you had to go?
3 years would be pretty good. If I remember right, last episode they said that the charge was going to be cocaine with intent to distribute. Here in Arizona, that's a felony 2. That's the same level as attempted murder. And with a record, you got previous convictions. I don't know what her record is, but Yeah, with previous convictions, it just starts to skyrocket from there. So 3 years with a previous criminal record, you'd be doing really freaking good on a felony too. Pretty crazy with that one, actually. Putting that one on the same level as attempted murder, I don't think that should happen. Tell me what you think in the comments. I think that's actually an interesting topic. Drug sales, attempted murder, does that go on the same level? Tell me what you think.
There is no Exhibit E in discovery.
This wasn't in discovery. It's security footage that will serve to directly impeach the testimony of Detective Pettis, Your Honor.
Your Honor.
There's no jury to prejudice here, Mr. Miller, just me. And I want to get to the bottom of this, so show you.
By the way, if it's used to impeach the witness, there's usually an excuse that comes in for discovery that hasn't been disclosed to the other side. And that is, if it's being used for impeachment purposes, the excuse is, I didn't know he or she was going to lie on the stand. And therefore, I didn't know I was going to have to use this evidence. That's actually legit. So what Mickey's doing here probably would fly. And as the judge said, there's no jury. And so the rules are a little laxed under this circumstance.
I need to confer with my client. Otherwise, I will advise her to exercise her right under the Fifth Amendment not to incriminate herself.
Sidebar, now.
Cop taking the Fifth Amendment is never a good sign. Typically speaking, there are a lot of people that say, yeah, police should not take the Fifth Amendment because they're involved in an investigation. They're not supposed to be doing anything illegal. If I remember right, that happened in the OJ trial. I think the question was, did you plant the bloody glove? And the officer said, I take the Fifth.
Was the testimony that you gave in this case completely truthful?
I wish to assert my Fifth Amendment privilege.
Have you ever falsified a police report?
I wish to assert my Fifth Amendment privilege.
Is it your intention to assert your Fifth Amendment privilege with respect to all questions that I ask you?
Yes.
I only have one other question.
What was that, Mr.
Detective Furman, did you plant or manufacture any evidence in this case?
I assert my Fifth Amendment privilege.
Which was a huge turning point for the case. So it does happen, and this is the same state, right? We're fictitiously in the state of California here, so that would be where OJ was tried. So, I mean, it does happen, although there's people that think it shouldn't. Also, I gotta say, I've been in this guy's spot before. Not for a police officer, but I've been witness representative before, and you're just in the back of the courtroom. You're not prosecution, so you're not sitting with them. You're not defense, so you're not sitting with them. You're just sitting in the back of the courtroom hoping that you don't have to stand up and interrupt a proceeding and make everybody go, what the flying crap is happening right now, and who is that guy?
Objection, Your Honor, on grounds that this is redundant.
Overruled. Plead out.
Not since we added a murder charge, so it'll kill the witness. Nobody gets a deal for that.
I don't know, Maggie, maybe.
Could also do an attempted murder charge because he did try to kill his girlfriend. Strangulation is attempted murder. So, and at the very least, it'd be aggravated assault. Any assault with strangulation is automatically aggravated. So, at least in Arizona. So, they could have mentioned that. They didn't. That's okay. I think he's got to work on that knot, man. Do a Windsor knot. Nice isosceles triangle. That whole tube thing, lopsided.
He's standing in the back.
But the record shows
oh, didn't see that one.
Detective Lee Langford.
You low-life son of a... This is all
first thing.
Order! She's in on it! Order!
Oh, that's why. Oh. Mickey wants his ex, whatever her name was, I keep forgetting, to make a deal because the detective that has been working the case with her is about to have no credibility whatsoever, and her whole case is hinging on his word that he heard the murder admission. Boom, gotcha. He's about to have what we would call a Brady violation. Brady violation means that a police officer has been found to be lying in other cases. They get on a list, and you can actually bring it up in court. So if their name is on that, they get up and they testify and say, oh, I know he did this, and I saw this, and I found this. And then you stand up in front of the jury and say, is your name on this list? And did you lie in this other case? Is that what was found to happen? And they have no credibility. And her detective's about to have that violation. Now it all makes sense.
18 U.S. Code 77 and 96.
Ma'am,
This is bullshit, and it'll end up just like this case.
The feds have deep pockets and all the time in the world, but if this does go south, I'll see you back here again. DAs come and go. I don't.
What I pointed out earlier, okay, all of the charges were dismissed, right? The one charge that wasn't charged was the best one that they actually still have a witness for that does not rely on any police testimony, okay? Yes, police testimony could strengthen it because as they ran in, they saw him choking his girlfriend. But his girlfriend can testify to attempted murder. Can still put him away for that. At least that puts him away for a while they figure out what else they could do. So that seemed like a little bit of a legal plot hole that they just didn't even talk about that. Yeah, aside from that, I mean, doing great.
You dropped some serious knowledge today. I feel like I'm ready to take the bar exam.
Wouldn't do you much good. I didn't learn any of the stuff I just told you in law.
No, there's some truth. The stuff that you learn in law school is that you learn the law, hyper-focused on what the law is and what law applies to particular situations. But the stuff he's been talking about the whole time, the jury selection and what kind of jury you want and how do you get that jury and you know, all of the more common sense of how does a law practice actually work, that isn't taught in law school. None of it. That's stuff that you either figure out on your own or you have to have a freaking amazing mentor to teach you all of these things. I like to think I had a little bit of both. I've had to figure out a lot of things on my own since I opened my own practice the day that I got my license. But I did have some really good help along the way. I had some attorneys that helped me when I was an intern, and even after I graduated, I was office sharing with some guys that were really good and were always helpful and happy to help. So yeah, I like to think I had a little of both there. But that statement, totally. Oh, rocking the three-piece. That means it's an important day and he knows it. The knot's still awful. Lopsided knot with a three-piece. That's just terrible. All right, and I am excited for next season. All right, so we'll be doing season 2, lunching right into it. Probably going to be, you'll see that video coming out in the next week or two. So keep your eye out for it. In the meantime, if this is your first time you've seen these, go and watch the rest of season 1. It's all on a playlist on the channel. We'll see you next time.